Donald Trump used his speech last night to warn immigrant populations that they are living here on borrowed time.
We will break the cycle of amnesty and illegal immigration. We will break the cycle. There will be no amnesty. Our message to the world will be this: you cannot obtain legal status or become a citizen of the United States by illegally entering our country. Can't do it.
After that speech, according to Politico, several major Latino surrogates for Donald Trump are reconsidering their support for him. And CBS reporter Leslie Sanchez tweeted out that a Hispanic leader who advises the Trump camp is telling her that half of Trump's Hispanic advisory board is ready to resign today. And here's why that should seriously worry Donald Trump. After the 2012 election, when Mitt Romney lost the Hispanic vote by a 71 to 27% margin, the Republican Party put together their so-called autopsy report called the Growth and Opportunity Project, which included a look at how the party could avoid a similar fate in 2016. It states, quote, if Hispanic Americans perceive that a GOP nominee or candidate does not want them in the United States, i.e. self-deportation, they will not pay attention to our next sentence. And as of right now, Trump has even less support from Hispanic voters than Mitt Romney did in the 2012 election. And joining me now is Adriano Espaillat, a New York State senator and a 2016 Democratic nominee for Congress, and Marco Gutierrez, who's the founder of the group Latinos for Trump. Thank you both for being here. And I'm going to start with you first, Marco, because you are one of the Hispanic advisors who has not left the organization. We're hearing that as many as 15, as many as half the members of that group are walking away. You recall that autopsy, I'm sure, in 2012, when Republicans spent a lot of money to do the research to decide that they could not afford to do as poorly with Hispanic voters as Mitt Romney did. Do you feel that Donald Trump, regardless of whether or not you still are on his team, is hurting the Republican Party's ability to win the election and long-term to grow its numbers among Hispanics?
No, I don't think so. I think my friends, we stand with Donald Trump. There's a lot of Hispanics that are in the closet because of the violent criticism of the left, but they support Donald Trump.
But you think, so put your friends aside. The polling shows that Donald Trump is doing even worse with Hispanics. This is before last night's speech. He was only at about 22%. Romney, lost by 5 million votes at 27%. So forgetting your friends aside, it seems that overall, Hispanics are rejecting Donald Trump in huge numbers. Can you refute that?
Yes, because the polls are done in two blocks. You have the born citizens here, and then you have me. Like I was born and raised in Mexico. My section, it's more against Donald Trump because of the relationship that they have with the unlawful immigrant, illegal or undocumented, however you want to call it. But you have the natural borns that are more in the 40-something%.
That's actually, you have to present some sort of a name of a poll because there's actually no numbers or research to support what you just said. You just gave us a number out of whole cloth. But I want to go to Adriano for that because there is no data that shows that some 40% of Latinos are for Trump. Sorry, it just doesn't exist. But you yourself at one point have been undocumented. You would be, if elected, the first formerly undocumented person to be elected to Congress. How do you respond to what you just heard?
Well, Joy, when I came as a 9-year-old, I came here without documents, and had Donald Trump been the president then, he would have deported me according to his policies that he laid out yesterday. I wouldn't be here to tell you my story. And I think that's not what America is about. Are we a country of dreams and aspirations, or are we a country of deportation? And so his very aggressive speech, his very intolerant speech, I think scared many of his supporters. Somebody like Jacob Monti, who's one of his advisors, I saw him on Spanish TV tonight talking about how he felt afraid. I would have ran right outside of that room had I been there. I mean, it was sent a chilling effect to many of us, whether you are documented or not. It was an intolerant speech, and of course, more of Donald Trump.
And Marco, you know, I've heard this Trump moment described as a Barry Goldwater moment, which is, of course, the tipping point when African Americans became so identified with the Democratic Party that essentially it became almost impossible for Republicans to win more than 10% of them. I've heard it described as a Prop 187 moment when the California law that went after undocumented migrants there really harmed the Republican Party. It's never recovered. Are you not at all concerned that Donald Trump is so alienating people with his tone last night, that yelling into the prompter speech, and just the tone toward undocumented migrants, toward immigrants in this country, that you are now facing a Barry Goldwater moment for your party?
Yes, but you know, Donald Trump is a genius of delivering a message, and yes, it was a tough message to deliver, but he did it. He did it in a way that's showing us that we have a problem, and the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few, and different times, different problems. Yes, indeed, there's a lot of people. My colleague here would not be here, but. We need to understand that this is a different time, and we're having problems here. We need to reform.
What problems are you talking about?
My culture is a very dominant culture, and it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I have to let Adriano in here.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means, and I'm almost afraid to ask.
I'm offended.
I'll tell you what that means. The Spanish never conquered Mexico. We are a culture that we have a lot of good things that we bring to the United States, but we also have problems. And you guys are going nuts over something that there's a 10th step to this problem, and you guys are already talking about the 10th step. We haven't even started walking this path. Let's let
Adriano respond, because we don't have unlimited time.
Okay.
I don't know what culture Mr. Gutierrez is talking about, but I know that the Hispanic culture has a saying, a very prominent saying, mi casa, tu casa, my house, your house. It is a tolerant culture. It is one that welcomes neighbors in. It is one that shares their culture, their music, their folklore. It is not an aggressive or bullying culture, as was displayed by Donald Trump and his 10 points that he laid out, including these deportation task force. What are really these deportation? Are they like unmarked vans that are going to go in and raid churches and community centers and going to do midnight races? Is this what America is really about? That's what we all have to ask ourselves. I don't think that this is what America is about. America is about giving opportunities. America is about being flexible with different groups that want to pray to different gods, that want to speak maybe different languages, that want to move forward and be part of the great American experiment. I think Donald Trump spoke dramatically against all those values last night. I think he will dip in the polls. I think it was just a terrible, terrible message that goes across race, ethnicity, religion, gender. A terrible moment for this discourse.
I think you haven't been in Mexico for a long time, and that's the problem that you guys have with all La Raza. You guys defend a Mexico or that doesn't exist anymore. There is a new Mexico that's rising with crime, and we need to stop that. And it starts right here.
You know, we are out of time, but I think it sounded like you were giving a pretty full-scale indictment of Mexico as a country and as a culture. I don't know that that is the way to increase Hispanic fealty to the Republican Party. That seems incredibly counterproductive to do it that way, but that is what you've chosen to do. So Adriano Espaillat and Marco Gutierrez, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And coming up, the Supreme Court